Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining me today for a seminar on SEO and your website. We're still waiting on some more people who will be joining us, so I'm going to give it about 5 after, and then we'll get started. Okay, it's about 5 after, and it looks like we have everyone here. Brooke, looks like you had a question about being able to hear anything. Are you able to hear me? If not, please go to your settings on whatever device you're on, if you're on your computer or whatever it may be, and just check and make sure. Okay, there you go. Sounds good. Okay, again, welcome and thank you for being part of today's webinar. My name is Alyssa Cedergren, and I'm the marketing manager over at Rejuve Medical and MedFit. Today, we're going to explore the basics of Google Analytics and your website. If you have any questions during the seminar, please type them in the question box and I'll answer them at the end of the seminar. Today we're going to spend around 30 minutes talking about Google Analytics, so let's go ahead and get started. If you're new to SEO, you'll learn that one of the most important pieces of SEO and seeing how traffic interacts with your website is by integrating Google Analytics into your website and then being able to track those traffic results. To do this, you'll first need to set up a Google account. So once you create the account, you can log into Google like I've done over here, and then the admin section, you can create a new account. You can do this under the account, create new account, and then this is where you'd set up what the name of it should be, what the website is, anything else specifically you want to set to, and then you ask for your tracking ID. That tracking ID is actually the UA code, and it's going to be an 11-digit code that you'll put into the header of your website or the theme option section of your website if you're using WordPress or etc. So once you set that up, you can go to the reporting features of the website to see some traffic results. Now, this will take a while for this to process. Like, so for example, if you've never used Google Analytics, or maybe you're just starting taking over for someone else, or you're looking at reports from your web person, typically you tend to look at them in like weekly or monthly segments, and then again to look compare them to maybe the year prior, quarter prior, things like that. So once we go to the reporting features of the website, you can see some traffic results. One of the main focal points will be in your audience overview. So in the top right-hand corner, you can see the date range to review this report. So in this instance, what I've just asked it to do is look at the last month from today's date to last month's previous date from the 10th to the 10th. What you can do is you can compare to, like I was just talking about, to the previous period, which would be the previous month, and click apply, and see kind of how your traffic trending has been going, if it's been up or down from the last month, all sorts of like really cool things that you can do with it. So it's a really nice tool to be able to use, but for what we're talking about today, I'm just going to look at this last month. So your sessions will tell you the number of people that have visited your website. The users will tell you how many original IP addresses have visited your website. So say, for example, I'm at my computer at home, and I go to use our website searching for stem cell treatments, and then tomorrow I decide to check out gym membership details. That's viewed as 2 different sessions, but by 1 user. So that's why typically your sessions will be higher than your users, because they're visiting more than once and looking at different things in your website. Your page views allow you to see how many different pages at a time have been viewed within your reporting date range. So pages per session show, on average, how many pages were viewed by each user before they exited or timed out on the website. Average session durations tell you how long a particular user is spending on your website, and your bounce rate lets you know the % of people leaving the website. It's also important to see the ratio of new visitors to returning visitors. Those that are new are finding you through organic SEO, paid SEO, referral links, email, and social media outlets. Another feature that's nice to use is the annotation segments, and these are located right here. You can actually put in an important marketing push maybe that you've done. Like, for example, we had a Ben Lieber stem cell video that launched on Facebook. So I wanted to see when I did that, the spikes that were occurring and what kind of traffic was driven. So a lot of times that can help you understand, when you see a traffic spike, what marketing effort you use to gain that traffic input. And that can be really helpful. As we scroll down to the demographics, we can drill down to the country and the cities that our searches are coming from, as well as the percentage of those that are using mobile devices. So that versus desktop to view the website is going to be pretty critical. Like in our case, it happens to be about a 50-50 ratio, those that are viewing on a desktop versus those that are mobile. And it's why it's really important to have a website that is responsive and lays out according to the devices being viewed on. So for the cities, for example, because of where we're located, a fair amount of people that we're getting are coming in from St. Cloud, and then also Minneapolis, which is another important city for us to try to get people from. But then there's also people from Chicago and some outskirts and on and on. You can view a full report, and it'll get it down to like the 1 person that visited from Sri Lanka or something like that. You can also look at the browser, people where they're browsing from. So the people that we have are using Chrome and Safari, and even Internet Explorer. The operating systems, things like that. Here's the mobile section that I talked about. And also, if you go over to the audience overview and you go to mobile, you're going to be able to see the devices that people are on. So for us, a lot of people are on an iPhone, then the iPad, and then some Androids. Okay, So let's talk about the bounce rate. So right here you see our bounce rate is about 43%. Typically, the go-to number is to make sure your bounce rate is at 50% or under, but that can be ambiguous because if you're a service-oriented company or brick and mortar that many visit so they can get your phone number, email, or directions, you could actually have quite a high bounce rate because they're just going to your homepage to get that information and then they're leaving. So you might see a bounce rate of up to 80% wondering, oh, what's going on? So if you're not getting those email contact leads, but even more importantly, if you dive into individual pages and it's pages other than the home, contact us, or action-oriented landing page, check that bounce rate. If it's high, chances are people are not finding what they need and they're leaving. So one of the ways you can check that is to check it on the behavior and behavior flow and see where people are dropping off. So let me just show you what that looks like really quick. If it'll actually open up. Okay, so for example, here we can see like some of the landing pages, our starting page, which would be our home page, and you can see the number of people that are coming in and then where they're dropping off, and then when they're looking into other pages. So I know a lot of people are looking at our studio classes and our boot camps. A lot of people want to know about us. They want to talk to us. And then a lot of people are going to orthopedics, our weight loss program, and then some of those other pages. Now, if you're seeing a really high bounce rate off your secondary pages or your homepage, that should be a lot of information. Like for us, we do have quite a bit of information, and we also have tunnels that we take them to other places. If that bounce rate is high, significantly high, you want to look at what's going on with either the graphic design of it, if the navigation is being difficult for them to get through, or maybe the content isn't there that's grabbing them and pulling them into the other pages of your website. So if you go to the acquisition, you'll be able to see the channels that your traffic is coming through. So let me just pull this up. So here, the organic search is referring to the SEO that we do. We use it by doing quality content, by blogging. We use keywords, page titles and headers, and other avenues to create organic SEO that will ensure when someone Googles, for example, knee replacement alternatives, that we should be on page 1 of Google. So all of these people that have hit our website is as a result of that organic SEO that we've done. The direct traffic refers to those who are actually just looking for Rejuve Medical or typing in our URL into their web browser, and then they're just going directly to our website. So a fair amount of people know about us, or they're a returning visitor, maybe someone's given them our name or had said, hey, you should check him out. This is what the direct traffic is from. The social side of things are going to be things like our Facebook, our Twitter, our LinkedIn. We can see how many things we're getting from that. So as we do different campaigns, like here's that spike again with the Ben Lieber video, that went out on Facebook and we also boosted it. So we got a lot of traffic from that. Our LinkedIn and Twitter are very minimal compared to the Facebook traffic that we do. We typically do quite a bit on Facebook and are doing some boosting in campaigns and things like that. The referral, let me go back to channels. The referral is going to be the sites that are linking externally to our website. So this could be a vendor, a provider, a client, a directory services, things like that. So as an example, because of the Regenix technique that we use, we have a referral link from Regenix that links back to our website. And so we actually get a fair amount of referrals from that and leads from that external link coming into our website. And then finally, the email is going to be like the email blast that we do. So when we have a new offering, like our 2042 challenge, if we have, informational things, anything like that, where it's get in touch, view our website, register now, these are the things that are coming from our email that are then hitting like our landing pages. So for this, I also have links within our email. So if they want to view the gym schedule, that's a link. A fair amount of people hit that. Our 20 and 42 challenge, register now, those are people that hit that registration button and came out to the website to look at that. Our Jumpstart was the previous thing that we had done. And then we also have our contact us and our weight loss and things like that that are typically links within our email newsletter. There's a lot of functions and layers to Google Analytics. You can set goals, conversions, filters, and all sorts of things that you can watch to monitor your website traffic and see what things are working and not working. And it's really critical, like for your overview, when you're looking at things, if you are seeing that high bounce rate on the user flow pages and things like that, to take a look at what that content is on your website. So if you're seeing a high bounce rate on a particular landing page, one that you're using specifically for a campaign, maybe it's a 20 and 42 challenge or a Jumpstart or something like that, look at what that content is. You can even drill down to the actual content on the page to see where people are exiting out of. So that can really help you understand where I'm losing people, why I'm losing people. Is the wording difficult? Did I not get to the offer soon enough? Is there not a strong enough call to action? Are they just not intrigued enough by the offer? Things like that. So you can change up that content, hit that campaign again, and see what people are taking away from that. And if you see that bounce rate go down, you know that you're being successful on that. So this is just a quick overview of Google Analytics. Just the top things probably that you're going to want to keep your eye on, whether you're the one who has to do this or if you're getting reports from your website person or provider. Sometimes it feels really ambiguous what they're giving you. You're like, okay, what am I looking at? So again, be really cognizant of like the sessions and the users, your page views, also the average duration and time spent on your pages. So someone that's sitting on our page for 2 minutes and 24 seconds is a long time in the space of people being online. It's just a really, it's a great average session duration. It means that they're looking around, they're interested, they're engaged, and typically they're finding the information that they wanted, or they're watching videos, they're reading success stories. And so the longer they're on the website, the better. And again, the bounce rate has been good. That's a very healthy bounce rate. And the new sessions are good as well. So a picture like this, or the pages per sessions, for example, they're looking at, on average, nearly 2.5 pages per time that they're on the website. That's good. That means that they're interested, they're engaged, and they're reading or watching something. So that's stuff that you're going to want to look at as you get those reports from your person that does it. And also, if you are responsible for having to look at some of these things, the things that we just mentioned as far as the overview, where people are searching from, if they're the majority are mobile or if they're desktop users, and then that behavior flow of where they're going to once they're coming to the website. Is going to be really critical for you just to understand where your traffic is coming from, the channels it's coming from, whether it's coming from your social media, your email, organic SEO, things like that. That's going to help you kind of get a good grasp of where your traffic is coming from and how they're interacting with the content that's on your website. So if anyone has any questions, let me know. I hope this has been informative and helpful for some of these things. I know if you're new to analytics, it can be a little overwhelming with all of the features that they have. And again, you can go as deep as you want to or as shallow as you want to with the reporting, but it's really thorough and really helpful and something that you need to be looking at if you're the person who has to be in charge of your website traffic or understanding the marketing side of things and campaigns that work. If you did a campaign that was an email campaign that you also put on Facebook and you're blogging and you're like, this was like the best thing ever, and then you take a look at your stats and they're just flat, it's not so great. So usually it's like something that's an issue with the landing page, that call to action, that free offer or whatever that was supposed to have been. And it could be just the content itself. Maybe it wasn't written as as well as it could have been, and wasn't as convincing or, and as wonderful as you were hoping it could be. So it's a really nice snapshot that you can use to find out how you did on that campaign and how you can improve it for future ones. Okay, someone just asked, how can I connect Google Analytics to my website? So we covered this a little bit at the very beginning. So if you're not already using Google Analytics, you can get started pretty easily. So you're going to want to visit the Analytics website where we're at right now, and then click Create an Account, which is going to be in the admin section, and then you just follow the basic account configuration steps. So after that, you'll be supplied with a snippet of a Google Analytic HTML or a UA code that you can insert into the source code for your website. And that's how it taps into and captures your website's usage stats. So if you don't have access to the back end of your website, then you can ask your website administrator or whoever is in charge of that to do it for you. Okay, another question that was asked, how can I know what is sending my website visitors away? Okay, I think I know what you're saying. So Google Analytics exit pages features will show you the individual pages within your website that users are on when they navigate away from that site. So if your main homepage URL is at the top exit page on the list, the chances are you're losing visitors right away there on the first page that they see. However, that also could mean that they were still looking to see what your website information, your phone number was, possibly your email, your hours, times that you're open, things like that. So I would actually want you to drill into that secondary page like we talked about to see if they're going from that first page and going to a secondary page. And if your home page is supposed to be one of your main advertising pages to entice them to get into other tunnels, drill in a little bit further to find out exactly where they're searching on that page and where you're losing them. Okay, if there's no other questions, I think I'm going to wrap for today. I've also got this webinar that's recorded, so if for any reason you want to listen again, please email me. My address is Alyssa. It's ALISSA, C as in cat, at rejuvemedical.com. I can go ahead and send you the link to this webinar, and then if you have any questions that come up after this session, sometimes after we walk away, I know a lot of times for me, I'm like, oh, I wish I would have asked that question. Just pop me an email. I'm happy to answer it, walk you through something if it's very specific to your website or some of the things that you're trying to do with it. This is very basic. It's very general overview. And I understand that there might be people that have a little bit more in-depth questions. I'm happy to answer them. Again, just shoot me that email at alyssac@rejuvemedical.com, and I'll be happy to help you in any way I can. Thank you everyone for joining me on the webinar. I hope it was informational, and we'll see you next month.